Hello everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi and today we are going to be talking about how to have unbreakable self-concept / self-confidence. So if you find interest in this, keep on watching. So I want to preface this by saying that self-confidence is a state of mind. It doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. All that matters is your perception of yourself, how you view yourself in your head. Anyway, I compiled a list of 10 things that I find helpful, and I feel like I still have to remind myself to this day on how to make sure I'm acting as my highest self. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is having neutrality towards how other people talk about you. So what do I mean by this? Obviously, when someone gives you a compliment, you feel really good. Like, it's nice to hear. But on the other hand, if someone's able to make you feel that good, by them saying something negative, they can make you feel just as bad. So I'm obviously not saying don't accept a compliment, but have more of a neutral response to it. Like, if someone compliments the way you look, be like, thank you, and then let it pass. Like, you shouldn't be relying on like what other people say to you to make you feel better. Because like I said, when it's good. But if someone tells you that you don't look good or that your hair looks ugly, it's obviously not going to make you feel good. But when you have that strong self-concept, self-confidence, people say that to you and it sounds like a lie. It's like when you have that self-concept, it's an undeniable fact that you know you're beautiful, you know you're the best. So it's like they tell you that and you're like, why are you saying this lie to me? Like, okay, I guess, whatever. So like I said, when you have that strong self-concept, when people tell you a compliment, it's not like a shocker to you. Like, you know that you know you're the best. And then when people say something bad about you or mean towards you, like, you just look at them like they're crazy. The second point that kind of bleeds into this is to stop relying on external validation. I will say this a million times. What other people say and think about you literally should not matter. The only thing that matters is how you think and view about yourself. If you know you're the best, whatever other people say literally simply does not affect you. And this also goes along with making decisions about certain things. Like, you don't need to ask your whole entire group chat what you want to wear for a night out. You don't have to ask someone what to order at a restaurant. Like, you should know within that whatever decision you make is the best because you're in control, you're the creator. It doesn't matter what other people say. Like, you shouldn't be as easily influenced by other people. And that's another thing. People that are extremely confident don't really need to rely on other like influence for what they want to do. Like, they'll do what they want to do just because they said so. The third thing I want to talk about is setting goals and actually following through on them. Like, actually following through on them. Not saying you want to wake up at a certain time and then sleeping in. No. If you tell yourself you're going to wake up at 8 a.m., don't hit snooze in the morning. Like, you told yourself you're going to get up at a certain time, so you're going to get your ass up at that time and go on with your day. Because by you even doing this with little things, you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you do it. You're establishing a trust within yourself. To become more confident and have that higher self-concept, you have to have like a belief and trust in yourself. So by doing these little minuscule things that don't seem like much, they build up over time. Or let's say telling yourself you're going to go to the gym 2 or 3 times that week. Actually do it. Prove to yourself that you're able to hold on to your promises. So with affirming for your certain desires, hold yourself accountable to those times that you dedicate towards affirming. If you tell yourself, I will affirm for 5 random periods during this day, actually do that. Don't like do it twice and be like, I don't feel like doing it anymore. Because you're not trusting yourself. You're proving to yourself that you don't have the ability to trust yourself. And how are you going to be confident and have a high self-concept if you don't even trust your own self? And speaking of affirmations, the fourth thing is to set an affirmation schedule to repeat your affirmations. And as I always say, make sure at least 2 of these times are first thing in the morning and last thing before bed. First thing in the morning is how you set your day up to be. Start by telling yourself whatever self-concept affirmations you have. I am the best. I'm the creator of my reality. Everything in my life is always perfect. Everything always goes my way. I'm an icon. I'm always treated like gold. Whatever your self-concept ones are. You wake up, you tell yourself that. You energize yourself with that. You set the tone of your day with that. You don't just wake up dreading the past, getting anxious about the future. No, the first thing you do when you wake up is you repeat your self-concept affirmations and set the tone of your day. And also, last thing before bed, you should be repeating your affirmations as well. Because the last thing you say to yourself is what will end up sticking in your mind. That's why you shouldn't go to bed either angry or just like in a negative state of mind. Because when you sleep on that, that just like sinks into your subconscious, and we don't want that. We want to go to bed with a clean slate with the things that we want. The fifth thing I want to talk about is stop being afraid of being corny. Like, honestly, people that are corny end up being like the happiest and most delusional, and they end up getting whatever it is that they want. They don't have a fear of looking stupid. They don't worry about other people's judgments. They do what they want simply because they want to. And by being corny, I mean something as simple as having a social media account, making TikToks, making YouTube videos, going to the gym alone, going to a workout class that you're not familiar with. Like, even me starting this channel, I was so scared of what other people would think about me having this. But honestly, the worst thing you could do for yourself is holding yourself back in fear of other people's judgment. And a confident person would not do that. They would not give a flying about what anyone around them says, because they know they're the best. They know what they're doing is on their right path. So that's all that matters. The sixth thing is do what makes you feel good. Whether that's working out, whether that's cooking, whether that's spending time with friends and family, going to get coffee, whatever it is. When you do things that make you feel good, it puts you in that high frequency flow state. Like, things just end up making you feel better. When you feel good, you get more good things. I know people say you don't have to be happy, positive 24/7. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying when you do things that make you feel good and happy, you'll put yourself in a higher mood. You'll attract better things around you. You attract what you are, not what you want. When you're feeling good, more good things will come. Do you ever notice when you're like in a shitty mood, like everything feels like it's going wrong? You're focusing on how everything is going wrong, so then you get more of that. Do you see the common denominator? What you put your energy on is what you will be shown more of. So when you do things you enjoy, like the things I mentioned earlier, you're putting yourself in that flow state, and I feel like it puts you in a more receptive state. The seventh thing is realize that everyone's actions are a projection of their own reality. Yeah, if we really want to, we can affirm against people like acting rude towards us or whatever, but I personally have so many other things that I'm affirming for and working towards. I don't really want to put my energy towards worrying about if everyone's gonna treat me like exactly how I want them to treat me. For me personally, I don't want to do that. I know that if someone's acting a certain way towards me, if they have like a bad attitude, it's not towards me. Like, I know it's not because of me. They're only acting on what's going on in their internal reality. The eighth thing is stop taking things so personally. This kind of goes into the last point that I talked about, but people are innately selfish. People are only doing and acting on things that like serve them and are part of their reality. They're not acting a certain way because you said or did something. They're solely projecting what's going on in their mind or what they're dealing with in their world. Like I said, it's not anything against you. Stop blaming yourself. Stop being like, oh my God, they just don't like me. They just don't this. Don't assume that. That's another thing. Don't make false assumptions about why people act a certain way. They could be acting that way for a plethora of reasons. You don't have to focus on what you could have done wrong. Like, they could have had a bad day at work. They could have just had like an argument with their boyfriend, girlfriend. It's not you. You're not the problem. The ninth thing is stop comparing yourself to other people. Comparison is literally the thief of all joy. You can't compete where you can't compare. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is your future self and what they would be doing. Ask yourself, what would my best, highest version be doing right now? How would they spend their days? How would they react in this situation? You don't need to compare yourself to like people that you see on social media, people that you see like at your workplace. Like, the majority of it is a facade. We only see 1% of like the reality of things. We don't know what they're dealing with. We don't know what's going on in their head. We don't know what circumstances they have to deal with. So just be grateful with yourself and where you're at, and work on bettering yourself and competing with yourself to become your own highest version. The 10th thing is have a routine that makes you feel good. Based on the last point I just brought up about acting as your highest self, ask yourself, what would my highest self do on a daily basis? How would they start their morning up? Would they go on a morning walk? Would they journal? Would they meditate? Would they have a cup of coffee and have their breakfast and journal about their dream life? What do they eat and drink? What do they provide their body with? Do they own a successful business? Do they have a job that they love? Do they have a significant other that is obsessed with them, treats them amazingly? Do they have an amazing relationship with their friends and family? Do they live in their perfect house? And just like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, these are all baby steps. These are all little shifts that end up becoming a whole big reality shift. It's the micro shifts that end up causing the most change. Identity transformation is a stepwise approach. Like, making these baby steps doesn't seem like much, but after like you do so many of them, when you look back, you'll become unrecognizable. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither were you or your ideal self. With the right thoughts, the right mindset, the right actions wherever it's needed, you can become your highest, most ideal self. You will have unbreakable self-concept. You will be so confident that it will radiate into every room that you walk into. People can literally sense confidence. Like, it's an energy shift, like when someone walks into a room and they have all the attention on them. By implementing these things, taking baby steps, reminding yourself of these things on a daily basis, you will become your most ideal, most authentic, most confident self. I guarantee. This is literally a promise. You just have to put the work in. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for my next video.